Okay, there. Okay.
What's going on?
Nothing. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So it is picking us. I just wanted to make sure that the microphone is working. What is that?
This is a pendulum.
Okay. Are you like
I'm
witchy?
I'm I'm clearing the air,
Oh, good.
because
Did you fart?
yeah, I farted. It's the it was the fall equinox. I have to actually go through and sage my house, but I haven't had a chance to do that. So I regularly use my pendulum to clear the air in my booth, aka my closet. So
Yeah.
yeah, there's
So I
that.
s- I saged the office because I just felt like there was like bad juju going on there because
You need a
um
pendulum?
my former boss, and then the lady who worked there before me, like they both have had a lot of bad things going on.
Yeah.
And and then of course, I've had like 16 surgeries in the last 2 years. So like I'm exaggerating, but you know what I mean.
You look so far away. Like I
I'm
feel like
not
you're in like some weird like space place.
Japan
Yeah.
or Russia. I don't
You look
know.
so far away. Like I can't even get over it.
Oh, well,
Is it your background? Why are you so
it's
far away?
blurred. I don't know. It's blurred because okay. So we sage the office and then we have a freaking mold issue. We discover a damn mold issue. So here, let me lift up.
Is this your chaos?
Oh no, the fire alarm was going off.
Your fire alarm was going off?
Yeah.
Who burned something?
Nobody. It's well, nothing beats a Trevi. And uh Jim is grilling
Oh,
and
yeah.
opened up the door
Yeah.
and the smoke comes pouring in.
Uh-huh.
And don't act like you haven't done it before.
No, I'm saying it happens to me all the time. Like
Yes,
yeah.
exactly. So because the smoke alarm happens to be right there,
Right there.
right
Yeah.
inside that door. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
Totally.
yeah. So it was like, beep, beep. I was like, oh my God. you
So
know,
how did you find the mold? I'm just curious.
um,
Is it like the bad kind, the black kind?
oh yeah, like
Yeah.
so it's like 80% wet under my office floor because see where okay, the way that the office is it was a water plant originally when the community was first developed. So it was like a water facility.
Like
So
a
it wasn't
water
really,
treatment facility.
yeah, it
Yeah.
wasn't intended to be an office.
Right.
So over the years, they decided to convert it into an office. I don't think it was permitted. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But there's
Yeah.
like this crawl space underneath the subfloor, like
Sure.
where the office is. And it's like 3 feet deep,
Uh-huh.
but it extends underneath where the conference room is, which happens to be right next door to my office,
Right.
and all the way through my office up to the front door.
Uh-huh.
So that's like 3 feet, like a 3 foot hole underneath the ground. Well, there's moisture. We're in Florida. So honestly, I think that it's been there for
Yeah.
eons. I think it's been there since before I started there because as soon as I started working there, I started having sinus issues. And I was thinking, oh, well, maybe I'm just getting older. It's allergies, whatever. I ended up having surgery like septoplasty. It's just like, I never really thought. So we did a mold test when I first, not long after I started working there. But then it turned out we did have mold, but it wasn't, I guess the levels weren't high enough.
Mm-hmm.
But in my office, they were the highest, which is crazy. So they never really did anything to, you know, remediate the mold. They just remodeled the office. So the mold's been there. So I think it's just
Interesting.
got worse over the years. So, anyways, I was telling my new boss, about this weird crawl space thing.
Yeah.
And
I'm big some
you're
eyebrows.
like, so I was telling my new boss about this weird crawl space thing. And he's like, nah. And I was like, yeah. He's like, where is it? So I told him where it was. And he goes in the conference room and the boards are buckling. The flooring is buckling underneath the conference room table. So he pulls it up and all of a sudden, just this freaking smell of mold just seeped out. And then it hasn't, it's been horrible ever since. So when we go into work, it's like
Jesus.
headaches, nausea, like freaking burning throat, burning nose, burning chest. I mean, it's crazy. So
You're not going to work though. You're not going to the office.
no, I mean, if I do, it's like in and out. It's very
Yeah.
quick. But they came in, they put
They had to
the
remediate it, right? I'm assuming that it could put like a dehumidifier, like a giant, like industrial. Yeah. You
yeah.
probably had to take everything down to the studs, I'm assuming.
Not yet, but that's what they're gonna do,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. They'll have to
I
gut
mean,
the whole
really,
thing. Yeah. Anything
realistically,
that's touched it.
we should have a new building, honestly, but I don't know what they're gonna do. So I'm working remotely for the immediate future.
Which you kind of like though. I mean, after the COVID situation, when you were working remotely from home, I know it's hard for your brain to stay on track, but like, yeah.
What are you trying to say?
I mean, nothing. But I mean, I know that it was easier for you because you are a single mom and you have, you have an older kid and then you have a younger kid. And I know it's easier. It's easier to manage when you work from home sometimes,
Right, right.
when life throws curveballs at you. But I know that your bosses and this particular company has been really, they've always been really good about if, you've had issues with
Yeah.
like kids being sick and stuff like that. But
Well, he's working from home too. Like we moved all the computers and stuff out.
yeah, I have to tell you, when I would come into the office to see you, my eyes would get like gummy and like I would kind of start to feel like a little
Gummy.
like a little like they were, my eyes would
Like
get a little gummy. Yeah, like I'd be sitting in the, doing my like whatever I was doing for you guys, like sorting and filing and stuff in like the conference room or
shredding.
in shredding or in in your office. And after a while, I'd be like, I thought I was fine, but then I'd feel,
And that's where the
I
crawl space is, where you were sitting.
I know, and I'm super sensitive to. I'm basically allergic to Florida, so I'm like super sensitive to stuff. By the way, I have to just FYI, here's like a little side note. I had to take the teenager to the high school to do this to go meet with a teacher for like a presentation about one of his ACE classes he's doing. It's like travel and tourism. It's like a college credit.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a big deal. So he wanted to have all the parents come. So I went. I wasn't even in the media room at the high school for like 10 minutes. And my throat started feeling like it was closing up. Like that's how sensitive I am. And my eyes were
Mm-hmm.
getting gummy. And I looked at him and he goes, "What's wrong with you?" And I was like, and he's like, "What's wrong with you? Don't ask any questions. I want to get out of here." Because he didn't want me to ask any questions to like
Mm-hmm.
delay the situation, which I thought was hilarious. Apparently that's like a thing with teenagers. Yeah. Like they don't want to be embarrassed and they don't want you to ask a
Right,
bunch of
right,
questions.
right.
I thought it was just me, but I was gonna
Hey,
call the high school.
wait, hold on. Hey, can you turn off that light, please?
Or shut the door.
Okay, stand by.
No, you're good. I'm gonna fix my hair.
Okay, great. Okay.
You are from a different angle. You are at a different angle.
Yeah, I'm facing out the window.
Yeah. You're in the yeah, you're in a different corner. But anyways, what I was gonna whoops.
It doesn't stretch.
Apparently not.
Yeah, hang on.
You did it again.
Damn it.
Don't worry, I'm good at picking back up where I left off. I just wanted to tell you that so anyways, I'm really highly allergic to mold. Like even right now, like just outdoors, I can smell the mold, and now that I can see the mold coming out. It's Florida, everything's moldy.
Right.
But I feel bad that you guys are going through that. Let me share with you also a little something. So that now like you validated the fact that like every time I walked to the office, I felt like shit after I was there. But
Yeah.
I who knows, sometimes it gets hot down here and there's lots of allergens going around. But when we were living in Michigan, so I'm going to piggyback off your story. When we were living in Michigan, we lived not the house before. Hold on, let me for a second. Our original house that we bought when we got married. Okay. That was the house before we came down here. And my teenager was born there, my middle was born there, and my youngest was born there. We, for a long time, my first had a corner of his bedroom where a sippy cup went down in the corner. And I thought there was like a little something in the corner, but I thought it was just from the sippy cup. So I ignored it.
Wait, which one was this? The oldest?
This is my oldest, this is my teenager.
Okay.
He was one and only for like 5 years. Okay. So it took me a long time to get pregnant and I had many losses in between before I had my number two. So a long period of time went by. Okay. And then we had number two. And lo and behold, I was moving shit around, because I like to move shit around, that. I start cleaning, I start moving shit around. I investigated that corner because there again was like something gooky in the corner. So I'm like, what the hell is this? Okay. Come to find out, we had a 10 by 10 black mold issue because from the construction we had rock, and then there's like a ledge, and then there was siding, and they didn't seal something or other in that area properly. So when the rain would come in, it would seep in, and it seeped into that corner. We had to vacate our house for 6 weeks. We lived out of garbage bags, laundry baskets. I lived in my friend's bonus room above her garage on an air mattress with my middle as a baby still breastfeeding in a pack and play with my oldest for like 6 weeks. And then we had
times.
And the two dogs that we had before, we like had to leave them at the house, and we just kenneled them in the like kitchen. And Brent, hold on, scratch that. Man Babe would go over there every morning, let them out and feed them, and then we'd go over there in the afternoons or whatever. But they had like giant industrial air filters, and they had to take almost practically the entire basement and my son's bedroom, anything that like touched that area, to the studs.
It's disgusting.
It cost us like $10,000.
Insurance didn't pay for it?
No.
It's nice. It's like, what's the point?
What's the point of anything these days?
Right.
Why? I mean, so anyway, so I feel bad that you guys are going through that, and I'm sorry, but that is total chaos. But I can, I was ready to go home. Living in my friend's bonus room, above her garage, and then we had like a little tiny camper before we got like our big one, and we just rolled it into their backyard, and that's where the Man Babe stayed.
You're confined.
There wasn't any room for him in the bonus room with the kids.
Right.
I was getting up in the middle of the night anyways with my middle and stuff like that.
Oh, so it's like, you want to switch?
Yeah, right.
You go in the camper, let Man Babe stay with the kids.
Right. No, that didn't work out. That's not how he was. So anyways, yeah, so that's I'm sorry. What's your estimated time of going back?
I don't know. They have to figure out a game plan. So it may not be until after the first of the year. Who knows? I mean, because we have a structural engineer coming out, and they're going to evaluate the building itself to see if it's even worth saving, or if we should just bring in like a prefab office building or lease an office space, and then wait until we can build a new one. So we'll see.
And it's Florida. Nothing happens fast ever. And it's construction.
Exactly.
And the materials are like the most costly of all times right now. So
inflation is a thing.
and we have a hurricane coming, so that's fun.
Let's
talk about that really quickly. Hurricane Ian. I laughed so hard because I didn't know that they had named it. And Ian, my friend, who was going to come on tonight, but he got pulled away, which is voiceover life. But he wants to come back on, so he's going to come back on soon. So I'll have to let you know about that. But we're in a social group, and so I was telling them that I was like frantically cleaning my house, because I don't know about you, but I was like, nothing is motivating.
It's even.
Okay. Well, no more. She cut her hair.
I see that she found another family to be with too.
Another family?
Your neighbors. Is she was with your neighbors hanging out? Like,
oh, next door?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Okay. She's gonna be bald by the time we're done. Yeah.
So we didn't even cheers. Cheers. So cheers to Hurricane Ian. So I was I was laughing because they're like, there was a huge audition that came through. Let me back it up for a second. A huge audition. My biggest private audition came through. It was a private invite, which is kind of a big deal. 200,000 words for $15,000. Now that was a first round, and they gave you a script. And if you made it to the second round, then they're going to send you additional scripts. And I think they're doing it in rounds. And I'm not even sure how legit this is, because it's like text to speech. but even if I could just have one piece of the pie,
Yeah.
and do one of them, I would. So anyway, so all of a sudden I woke up the next day and there was like 15 auditions. So I made it to the second round. Hooray. But there was like a
That's
ton of
awesome.
auditions that spanned from, documentary, I can't say that, to
Oh my God, you're rubbing off on me. Documentary.
yes, thank you. To, product explanations and news and entertainment and stuff like that. So it's yeah. So I was messaging my group and Ian is a part of it. And of course, Man Babe had the Weather Channel on last night because last night everything was a category 4 and it was going to hit us directly. And like,
Mm-hmm.
it was crazy town, right? And
Yeah.
so they're like, be safe. And then I'm like laughing because I posted, I was like, it's actually your namesake, Ian, because he had said, stay safe if you guys need to come to Vegas. I've got an extra room. I'm like, dude, you don't want my 5 crazy people and like 2
Yeah.
dogs. He's like, I'd be happy to have you guys. I'm like, not really sure what you're getting yourself into.
Exactly.
And I don't know about you, but I've never been through, this is going to be my biggest hurricane. I mean, honestly, when I moved down
Is it a
here,
hurricane?
yeah, it is now.
Towards us. Is it coming to us? We
Well,
won't
I
know until
mean,
tomorrow, but
first
it's
of all,
not supposed to at this
well,
point, I don't think.
yeah, it goes to the east, goes to the west, goes to the east. It's like being temperamental. It can't
But
make
it's
up
like
its mind.
more north. I think more north of us is where it's projected to the projected path.
Yeah, I think we're still in the cone.
Are we still in the cone? I
Yeah,
don't know
we're
if we
still in
are
the
or not.
cone. We are. It goes back and forth minute by minute. But like I remember moving down to Florida and I remember thinking like I would spend like $500 on getting dry goods and batteries and like all this stuff. And then the last couple of years, it's like anytime there's like a tropical storm or a potential hurricane, the sun is shining, the birds are chirping, and nothing happens. And so I feel like you kind of lose your like edge to, the emergency side of like
I
hurricanes. And
haven't even gotten gas.
well,
I have
no,
70 miles to empty. I'm
are you
not going to
serious?
make it very far if we have to evacuate.
I don't think I'll ever evacuate. That just seems like it would cause more problems. I don't want to I don't want to be stuck in my house with like all these people that I have and dogs, let alone being stuck in a car on the side of a highway where there
I'll
are
tell
no
you,
bathrooms to poop in.
we evacuated with Hurricane Wilma back in 2005.
Yeah.
I think it was 2005. And oh
It's a
God.
long
So
time ago.
yeah. So we went to Kissimmee. So it was me, my family. So my
Yeah.
husband at the time, and then Pam, and she was shoot, 8, 7,
Wow.
maybe 7 or
Mhm.
8. So we evacuated with her. Then two, we had 2 Pekingese, my mom, okay, my stepdad, and their 6 Pekingese, okay, because they had puppies. So they were like just puppies, little tiny, you know.
Yeah.
So we had to smuggle them into the hotel. My sister and brother-in-law, my brother and sister-in-law, her sister. So like
Did you
everybody.
have a bus? Like what did
No,
you
we
no, you
drove
drove
separately,
separate?
but we
Okay.
ended up at the same hotel.
Jesus.
But yeah, then we
Okay.
went to SeaWorld.
Oh my God. During the hurricane.
Yeah, while it was hitting here, we went to SeaWorld. But when we came back, we didn't have power, but it wasn't like anything major. It wasn't like, it was just no power for a day or so.
I'm
It
like the
wasn't anything like Irma. Irma sucked.
I'm like the queen of taking something serious and making and turning it into like a little bit of fun. So I feel like that's like pretty stellar to evacuate because there's a hurricane and go to SeaWorld. I think that's pretty cool. I don't think I'd
Yeah.
ever evacuate because for me it just doesn't seem like it seems like that's more of a headache.
It just depends on the severity of it.
There's nothing like a hurricane though to like make me want to clean my house. I haven't cleaned my house in like a while because I've been busy. And so the other day I was like frantically dusting and vacuuming and cleaning everything and doing is, keeping up with the
Cleaning
towels.
out the
And
fridge in case you lose power and
I
everything
told
goes. Get
Yes,
rid of the
because
nastiness.
yes, I don't mind throwing away condiments like ketchup and mustard, or I mean, even like bags of cheese. But when it comes to the meat these days, like with chicken and all that, it's so expensive. So I've been pulling shit out and defrosting it and grilling it up. You know, I pretty much have done everything that I needed to do except for like I've even cleaned out the tubs so that just in case I have to fill up for water or whatever.
Yeah.
And I have bottles of water frozen in the freezer now. I mean,
But you're not putting up your shutters.
not yet. No, I mean, if it
At
hits,
what point do you decide that you're going to,
well,
put them up?
I want to do it before there's 90 mile an hour winds,
Yeah, but like
like
at what point do you decide that you're going to do that? So like, is it going to have to be a category what? Because it's a pain in the ass. Like we don't have electric shutters. We have
I
to like literally screw them into every single after we get them out of the garage because they're all still bundled up from the
from the
builder,
right. I've never taken them out. I mean, I haven't even watched the YouTube videos. I haven't even like practiced putting them up like in a
I
non-emergency
pray
situation.
that we have all the hardware to put them up.
I pray that like, yeah, I charged my drill. I charged my drill. This is what I've done so far. I've cleaned my house so that way if I'm stuck in my house with no power, I don't have to look around at like dirtiness and be even more annoyed. I also even cleaned and dusted and vacuumed my stupid ceiling fans that have like probably 3 inches of dust on them because I refuse to clean them. So I did
Really?
that. Yes,
I'm
seriously.
surprised. That surprises me. I'm surprised you don't do that.
It's really high. I don't like it. It's like high up there and like I have to stop things and like
Take a
turn shit off.
pillowcase, put the pillowcase on it, slide it off.
No, I have a thingy. I have like a thingy and then like I have like a whole system.
Doesn't it
But
go everywhere?
no, because I have the vacuum and then I have a thing, like a handled thing. I don't know. It's like one of those duster thingies. Like it's a fan
Okay.
duster, and then I use my vacuum. Anyways, I got that done. I got bottles of water in the freezer. We're going through the meat that I froze. I'm defrosting and cooking. I'm trying to think. Oh, I have dry toilet supplies. Do you know what that
Dried
is?
toilet supplies.
Yes,
What?
so that the power goes out and you can't flush the toilet.
Okay.
So it's called like dry camping, dry toilet. So you put the garbage bag in the toilet
Oh,
when the
okay.
water goes down, and you could put kitty litter in it, so that way if somebody has to go poop, which you eat, you gotta poop. If there's no electricity,
I'm thinking
I'm
that if we
prepared.
lose power,
I'm
because
prepared.
we have a CDD in this community, that's for the freaking infrastructure.
Yeah.
We better not lose power for long. That's all I'm saying.
Mm,
We have underground power.
right.
So our underground electrical better not fail us.
Right.
Plus, we're right next door to a school.
That's true.
I think
And
that
we're
they also
close to
I think they use the schools for emergency shelters.
I- there's no way in hell I'm gonna get in a car with 5 people and 2 dogs and drive anywhere unless it's like a category 5 and the